Hello students, we'll start with the next session of animal cell culture part, which deals with preparation of tissue material. The preparation of tissue material, the first step is selection and isolation of a tissue or an organ for tissue culture technique. The next step is you have to dissect and remove the necrotic cells and the fat cells before proceeding for culturing of cells. The dissection, after dissection you have to disaggregate the cells. So disaggregation of cells, animal cells, can be done by three modes: mechanical disaggregation, enzymatic disaggregation, and that can be you can directly inoculate to produce the primary explant technique, which can inoculate tissues to grow the cells in the in vitro condition. So in the disaggregation, there are two methods which are employed: mechanical disaggregation and enzymatic disaggregation. In mechanical disaggregation, it is done by mechanically, that is by chopping, slicing the tissue, sieving, the syringing, or by pipetting. That I will explain one by one these techniques. And the enzymatic disaggregation, it is done by the proteolytic enzymes. It may be by trypsin, called warm trypsinization, and cold trypsinization by the usage of the enzyme trypsin. Collagenase, where it degrades the collagen which is in between the cells, and use of other proteases which are obtained from the microbes. So after that you can resuspend the cells in the saline and can inoculate them to get a primary cell culture. That is, so if you get the cells directly from the source, that is, this is after dissecting, isolating the cells from the organism, and you grow in the first culture, we call it as a primary cell culture. So after obtaining this primary cell culture, you can go for passaging or nothing but subculturing. Then we can end up with a homogeneous type of cells. Those cells are homogeneous kind of cells, we call them as cell line. So this is the overall the flow chart of the cell culture technique. So we'll study one by one. Cell culture, it refers to the removal of cells from mammal or animal and other subsequent growth in a favorable artificial condition. The cells may be removed from the tissue directly and disaggregated by enzymatic or mechanical means before cultivation, or they may be derived from the cell line or cell strain that has already been established. Basically, mammalian animal cell culture technique are similar to those employed for bacteria, fungi and yeast, although there are some characteristic difference. In general, mammalian cells are more delicate, that is, they are vulnerable for infections, to mechanical damage, and present lower growth rate and require more complex culture media and special substrate. This is the speciality about the mammalian cells, which can be grown in vitro. The first step, as I told you, it is the isolation of animal material or animal tissue. Animal material should not be contaminated. They should be isolated in a sterile conditions. When glass vase and media are sterilized, animal material should be handled. That is, in the previous video I told you about how to sterilize the glass vase. The balanced salt solution, it is called BSS, is required with 1000 units of penicillin as an antibiotic which avoid the growth of microorganism, and 0.5 milligrams streptomycin or neomycin per ml before the culture of animal materials. And animal materials are the glass vase which you use for cultivation are washed in BSS aseptically to avoid the contamination. The tissue to be cultured is properly sterilized with 70% alcohol and removed surgically under aseptic condition. The tissue isolated is either stored in freeze or used for immediately. This is one such mammalian tissue which is isolated. I have shown you the picture here. The second step is the tissue disaggregation. Several techniques have been adapted or devised for a disaggregation of tissue isolated from the primary culture. These techniques can be divided into purely mechanical technique or involving dissection with or without some form of maceration. The viable dissociated cells are now termed as primary cells. When the primary cells are seeded on the culture media in a high density, these grow well. Thus, the primary viable cells of primary culture, they are adherent culture. Moreover, at this stage, some non-viable cells, if they are growing along with the adherent cells, can be separated out by using the second media. Similarly, primary culture can also be grown in suspension. In suspension, non-viable cells can be removed from primary disaggregation by centrifugation using ficol and sodium metrozole, and this way viable cells are separated from non-viable cells. So this is the picture. You can see it's the tissue after dissecting. This has to be disaggregated, means you have to separate the cells. So after separation, this method needs a mechanical or enzymatic method. These cells are incubated for growth, and you can obtain the separated cells after the incubation, and you can purify them. Only the isolation of tissue, physical, enzymatic, and by using chelating agent, we can disaggregate the cells. We will study first one, the physical method. The physical or mechanical disaggregation, the tissue after careful removal from the organism is given what aseptically kept in a sieve of 100 mm sieve. This is the sieve, means with a pores, with a different cut of pores. It is put in a sterile petri dish containing buffered media with a balanced salt solution. The cells are alternatively passed through the sieve. That is, their cells are pressed through the sieves. See, after isolating the tissue, here it is a chopping method. Chopping of the embryo, it is shown here. See, this is the sieving. The sieving means with the pores. That is what we use in the filtration of in the coffee filter. Also, we use some sieves. Okay, so similar to that, for the sieving the cells also, there are the instruments where the different cut-off size, the decreasing pore size are available. So cells are passed through forcefully. If a desired process is repeated to get a more disaggregation of cells, the thing is the cells may get damaged. That is the one disadvantage. The debris remaining on the sieves are discarded. The media containing cells are collected, and the cells are counted using hemocytometer. That is by sieving mechanism. The medium is diluted by serum to raise the level of cells to 10 to the power of 4 cells if they are necessary for the growth. The mechanical disaggregation of the cells are forcing the cells to the syringe. The syringing also can be applied to disaggregate the cells. The needles are repeated pipetting. Pipetting also can be done with, and the physical method is quick and very cheap, but the disadvantage is it to damages many live cells. That's the only thing. Enzymatic disaggregation, it is a mostly used technique when high recovery of cells are required from the tissue. The enzymatic disaggregation can be carried out by using the trypsin, collagenase, and some other enzymes, proteolytic enzymes. The term trypsinization is commonly used for disaggregation by trypsin. Two techniques are used, that is warm trypsinization and cold trypsinization. Warm trypsinization, the tissue sample exposed to the trypsin at 36.5 degrees centigrade. The dissociated cells are collected every half an hour, that is by centrifugation. The trypsin is removed by centrifugation after 3 to 4 hours. Cold trypsinization, the tissue soaks in cold trypsin of 4 to 6 hours to allow the penetration. That means they are incubated at a low temperature. That's all. After the trypsin is removed, the tissue is incubated at 36 degree for 20 to 30 minutes. It is enzymatic treatment. Tissue after obtaining, the cells are inoculated with a fresh media. So before inoculating, it is disaggregated by use of incubating with the tissue after incubating the cells with the enzymes. They are inoculated and the cells are grown in the monolayer condition after enzymatic disaggregation. After that, if we get a disaggregated cells, you can go for subculturing or passaging, or you can keep the cells for storage for further use in cryopreservation technique at a low temperature. This is enzymatic degradation, disaggregation. The disaggregation by collagenase enzyme, Collagenase is used for disaggregation of embryonic or normal as well as malignant tissues. The intracellular matrix contains the collagen, therefore the collagenase degrades the normal and malignant tissue. Moreover, epithelial cells can be damaged by it, but the fibrous tissues remain unaffected. Moreover, the epithelial cells can be, same sentence I have repeated here. See, it is a triple helical structure of collagen. This triple helix, it is degraded by the collagenase. This is collagen, this is collagenase enzyme which breaks or which cleaves the collagen. So, collagen acts as a cementing material between the cells. The mechanism of action of collagenase, they are proteinases that hydrolyzes collagen in its native triple helical conformation under physiological condition resulting in lysis of collagen deposits. Cell dissociation by the chelating agent like EDTA, the cells are released from the dish by breaking the cell protein interactions with the surface of the dish. EDTA is a calcium chelator that will remove the calcium ion that integrates required to maintain the cell adhesion. The no toxicity was observed when the cells are exposed to 100 micromolar zinc or iron EDTA, but same concentration of copper EDTA was as toxic to the sodium EDTA. Continuous exposure of cells culture to 5 micromolar sodium or zinc EDTA for up to 7 weeks yielded no indications of toxicity. This is a clump of tissue after treatment with chelating agent. You can see the separated cells. Here, culturing of monolayer, that is monolayer subculture techniques. After getting the cells, disaggregated cells, so this spreading of the cells in the, it is a tissue culture flask, and the confluent monolayer cells are grown, and the removal of the media, you can remove the media, and the monolayer can add the trypsin. So trypsin, which will cleave the cells if you incubate, so cells will be cleaved up, and the removal of trypsin by centrifugation you will get with the that is single cells. That is, this picture shows obtaining the single cells from the monolayer. That is, after primary cell culture, when you get a monolayer of cells, you can get again the single layer for the single cells for subculturing by this technique. That is, the monolayer is treated with the trypsin, you incubate it, and you will get a single cell. So you can go for one more round of passage. This is how we can subculture the cells. Weave the culture to assess the condition. Centrifuge it at 150 G for 5 minutes. Add 10 to 20% conditioned media to fresh media. Take sample of cells, and you count the number of cells or calculate the cells per ml and reseed according to the recommended density. You repeat this for every 2 to 3 days. This is how we can do the subculturing of cells. Again, subculture of monolayer, as I explained you in the earlier slide, where monolayer of cells are incubated with the trypsin. Okay, so trypsin can be removed by centrifugation and incubate the cells at 37 degree for 10 minutes. Cells are rounded up after incubation, and you can take out the cell in the media, take out the cells from the media. That cells are resuspended in the media, ready for counting and receiving. This is subculturing from the after obtaining the primary cell culture. So in the cell culture technique, that is isolate after dissecting, you can isolate the organ or the tissue. Okay, then you dissect it, that means disaggregation. After dissecting, you in a sterile condition, you disaggregate by mechanical, enzymatic or by chemical chelating agents. You can go for subculture. After that, what you get is the primary cell culture. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this primary cell culture? Advantages, they are thought to be represent the best experimental models for in vivo situations. That is, these cells which are obtained from the organism can be represent the best model. They have the same karyotype as the parent tissue, normal and abnormal, okay, but they are not de-differentiated. That is the disadvantage of primary cell culture. It is difficult to obtain relatively short lifespan in the culture compared to inside the organism, very susceptible to contamination, may not fully act like a tissue due to the complexity of the media and considerable variation in the population and between the preparation. That also varies. It is a disadvantage of primary cell culture. Okay, before I complete this video lecture, so I will show you the video on primary cell culture. Just watch this. It is no audio, only the demonstration. Just to watch this. So how to inoculate the cells. That is a tissue culture technique. Which is carried out in the sterile condition. This is the tissue, animal tissue. This video is also available in the YouTube. You can watch this. See, from the tumor tissue they are separating the adipose tissue. It's a fatty layer. Fatty layer is removed. They are mechanically, they are chopping the tissue to get the smaller pieces. After obtaining the cell culture, this is passaging, is subculturing. Cells are observed under microscope. Triphangulate exclusion method is applied to distinguish between viable and non-viable cells. So Trifangulate is a dye which is applied to distinguish between the viable and non-viable cells. Subculturing the cells. Okay, thank you for watching. Keep watching.